The last touch rather coming off a white jersey. And Namibia will send another long ball forward with Kamai Janda, who plays for Highbury. The goalkeeper who has really been in some great form. When you talk about Namibian football, you got to look at teams like FC Angos, African Stars, as well as Komas Nampo. They are really the teams that are trying to make sure that they drive football in Namibia into a direction that is quite positive for a nation that continues to strive under coach Colin Benjamin. Ball out to the right-hand side. It's Felicio Mendes. Intercepted, and Harasep, who's been tasked to look after the danger man, that is Kapoor, who was the leading goal scorer in the 2024-25 season with 22 goals. He goes down in the box and asking the questions of the referee and perhaps to consult with VAR. The referee says it's way too early for that. Yes, Angola, they'll want to stay in the opposition half, showing some good impetus and looking for the players as that ball is threaded through in a search of another red jersey. However, the Brave Warriors do well, looking organized defensively, and get that ball away. Pedro, who will bring it back. Francisco Pedro needs a cross. There's nobody to cut it out, and header. Keeper had to pull out a brilliant save. That was a brilliant effort by Angola, asking the questions very early in the match. We spoke about the danger man, Joao Caporal. Out on the right side, looking for the quick return ball. Wilson still showing a bit too much of the ball, Wilson, and a force backwards. Randy Nteka, the 27-year-old, plays his football out in the La Liga. Jonathan Butau. Another ball over the top. This is the danger. Kapura, and that ball just skidding off the board. He's disappointed with himself. Top sharpshooter, top goal scorer, 22 goals to his name. Caporal Joao. First touch was important. The second touch a bit disappointed. Wasn't able to wrap his foot around it, but that was the earlier question being asked by the same sniper. And the keeper says, we have this job in hand. We have you in check. The Brave Warriors getting that ball away as quickly as possible. Kamai Janda sends that ball up front. Coming in with a 4-3-3 formation as the Brave Warriors looking at playing quite attacking football, similarly to the opposition. Angola, the defending champions, they too line up with a 4-3-3 formation. Randy Nteka as well as Alexandra Abdel with Manuel Show in that midfield, absolutely menacing. Here's the Brave Warriors showing some good feet and quick feet. Dispossessed though, ball taken out to the left-hand side with Ambrosini. Playing the 1-2 is Ambrosini with Francisco Pedro. Ambrosini, ball into the middle of the park. He has an opportunity for Felicio Milson. And the attacker does not give the desired result. So if you want to go and visit Namibia, and you look at the Rand and Namibian dollar exchange, almost 1-to-1 to the Rand. And commonly spoken in Namibia is the English and Afrikaans. So you'll be all set. They are really blessed with a lot of wildlife. So if you're deciding to take a trip down to Namibia, you will be really entertained. Also not forgetting the Namibian desert that is very distinguished out there and along the Atlantic Ocean. Namibia becoming a great tourist attraction, looking for the quick 1-2. Referee doesn't like the challenge, Mr. Hilary Hambaya. And this is the reason why the whistle is blown. Pretty simple, coming from behind. Randy Nteka. Referee will definitely just have a bit of a talking to. Needlessly giving away possession is Kennedy Hambara, a man who's got an abundance of experience playing his football for African Stars. With 41 caps, he's bringing that stability in the defense of Namibia. Ball played back, trying to draw in a Namibian outfit who is playing with a lot of caution, but closing down from the front and are looking to force those errors as you would in tennis. That ball kept in play. Jonathan Butau shares it with Victor Vinio. A long ball out to the left-hand side. Diagonal ball looking and searching for Randy Nteka. But some defending lanky players in that defense of Namibia, making it rather difficult for Pedro, who plays for Sporting. He seems to be really roving as a left back, finding himself every now and then attacking, going forward and giving the opportunity to Angola to add to the midfield and have about 5 players. Very skillful at times, but here is the Brave Warriors looking to exploit the defense as referee Hillary is calling for the medical attention, and this is the reason why. Clashing into the body of Jocelyn Kamatuka, and coming out worse for wear is the Angolan defender, who I think in that particular moment is very unhappy with the decision. As the bench looks on, Coach Colin Benjamin, who also is busy at work with 146 appearances for his club as a former defender, 13 goals in that particular stint with Hamburger. And on the opposition, Pedro Soares Concalves, born in Lisbon, Portuguese coach who has done it all, was an assistant. From assistant, was also part of an academy, has coached the Angolan under-17 and under-20 side, and now been given the responsibility to coach the senior side. He really believes that his team are in a good space and are hoping to defend their title with 15 minutes on the clock. Angola and Namibia are locked at 0-0 apiece. Haven't seen that many goals in this tournament thus far. We are being entertained in Group B. Angola, Lesotho, Malawi and Namibia. Pretty much the same group as it was in the 2024 season out at the Nelson Mandela Bay. The only difference in that group is Malawi replacing the Seychelles. Ball over the top, knocked down, but closest to the ball was an Angolan defender. Looked like Alexandra Abel. But here's Namibia yet again. They'll try and conjure up another attempt. Forced backward is Jocelyn Kamatuka. Kamatuka brings in Arasep. Good fight on. Looking to thread that ball through on the edge of the box, and a shot that goes a bit wide, and that is a corner for Namibia. The sniper there, Betwell of Blacklever, the 24-year-old, was looking to create the space, but also being held back a little. Got his shot away, but rather tamely. This will allow Angola to organize themselves defensively. Goalkeeper Dominique have to be very, very vocal. Corner taken, ball in the air. Given a second bite at the cherry, that ball just skidding off the right boot. Dominique, he'll take his time, and he's trying at the same time to organize his defense. He's got a good boot on him, and what is important is the range that he possesses. Come comes in with great confidence into this tournament. Both Namibia and Angola have been previous winners of the COSAFA Cup, but Angola goes way back to 2015. They'll want to change that. Here's the pace of the dangerous man, João. Is looking to offload. Felicius Mendes. Kept in play. Coming from an offside position. The flag goes up almost immediately. Elfias Sitole of South Africa. But showing some footwork and some holding. The referee and assistant referee in unison, picking all the unfair play that is on display. Goalkeeper Ndisiro will again launch another attack in the hope that Namibia will be in a much more advanced position as that ball goes all the way out for a throw-in. Jocelyn Kamatuka asking the players to come a little bit more forward and hopefully put pressure, applying the mid-block and high press. But here's Angola. Good and timely interception by Moses Shidolo. Jocelyn showing some skill and shepherding that ball out of touch. As Jocelyn, it is a throw-in for the Brave Warriors. Football-loving fans of Bloemfontein will be coming out in their numbers throughout this tournament as the tournament gets closer and closer to the business end, and that will be a problem to try and get a seat. But for now, still trying to sift the boys to men. The winners of each group will advance into the next round, the knockout phase. But for now, in the group stages, it will be round robin. Jonathan Butau plays the ball back to his goalkeeper, who's got better view and immediately sends that long ball to the left-hand side for Angola. This looks like the wing that they are hoping to profit from is Angola. But players like Moses, as well as Paulo Samutenya, are pretty much awake and are alert to any danger. Goalkeeper hacks that ball forward, wants to keep his teammates in that advanced position over the top. Ball coming to the right-hand side. Nicely done by Angola. Good control. Looking for Wilson. Eventually, it's a throw-in for the Brave Warriors. So, having said that, Caporal is looking rather uncomfortable and indicating to the referee that there was a bit of an elbow in the process, being sandwiched between two players, really being the meat in that occasion. And when you're looking at Moses Shidolo, just making sure that he doesn't get a clean chance or a passage towards goal. Possession turned over. Levi Alpheus, another ball going over the top. Does he keep it in play? And ultimately it is a throw-in. He tried to sprint and get to the ball as quickly as possible, Betwell, and wasn't able to keep it in play. When we talk about the form of Angola, definitely a cause of concern. Failing to win in the last 3 matches across the African Championship qualifiers and the World Cup qualifiers. So definitely a worrying moment for coach Pedro Soares. Conscalves played and won over a Lesotho team, lost in the return match. Jocelyn has got space ahead of him, but was a little delayed in releasing the ball out to Kamberipa, and ultimately getting a corner for Namibia. 10 red shirts in the goal mouth. 10 red shirts speak of collective defending for Angola, making it rather difficult. And Namibia, who seem to have worked on trying to use their height advantage with 3 corners, they make use of this, but it is Angola who will come away with it. Another delivery is expected. This time, header falls comfortably for the goalkeeper. Quick to release, trying the transitional play by sending that long ball, but it goes out for a throw-in. And Angola looking to exploit and use the spaces that have been left behind by Namibia, who had gone up for a corner. Ball kept in play. The full circumference of the ball had not gone over the line, or did it? That challenge was rather harsh. Player going down in that particular challenge is Francisco Pedro. Pretty strong lad. Plays his football for Sporting. He'll use his weapon, which is strong hands, to get that ball into the penalty spot. That is his delight. Does he get it that far? Almost a header, and the keeper read it well. Choose a few precious seconds in those moments to get his team to make advances. Beautiful goal that was scored earlier on in the match of Group B. That was Lesotho against Malawi. Team that struggled to get a single shot on target. Here's Jocelyn beaten to the ball by Victor Vignon. In the moment, as the Brave Warriors and Angola looking to try and settle into some sort of rhythm, finding it very, very difficult, and that kind of indicates the dominance of Namibia with 52% in ball possession. They will want to make good use thereof. Angola closing down rather quickly, not allowing them that much space. It's a throw-in, and Manuel, who plays for Pau Football Club, finds Jordi, and he's bundled off the ball. Joao holding his ankle in the process. Well, Joao has been the most foul player on the park as it stands, with 25 minutes on the clock. Let's have a look at that. Ball thrown in by Jordi Manuel, and the intended recipient was a good first touch, but he had Moses Shidola to deal with, man who plays for Matebele Football Club. Had to stop him. He knows the danger he possesses. Here's the goalkeeper, Ndisiro, organizing his wall, making sure that that angle on the left-hand side of his goal mouth is nicely protected. Decent ball over the top, slightly overcooked. And ball allowed to trickle over the line for a throw-in. Jonathan Boatu, he stayed up for this long throw-in again, as Francisco Pedro, who seems to be given the responsibility to take these throw-ins. Referee doesn't like what he sees in the box. He says, come on, gents, let's get this good game going. Throw-in. Francisco Pedro, hacked away, helped on by Jocelyn Kamutuka. Ball in the air, 2 players going up, lack of communication. And ultimately that ball goes out for a throw-in to Namibia. It's a tightly contested affair. Intercepted by Victor. Vidinho, who's quite instrumental in that defense, has got some lovely leadership qualities, organizing the back four, making sure that between him and Jonathan Obuatu, they are really taking the responsibility defensively, pushing out to Manuel Jordi to the right-hand side, and also at times wanting him to show his explosiveness and take a couple of runs going forward, hoping that Kennedy Ebe is given a bit of homework to do. Ball played back to Victor Vidinho, forced backwards yet again. Angola do well to get that ball in play. Good turnover ball, good quality ball. Equal to the task is goalkeeper Ndisiro. Gets it to hand it first to that ball and gets it furthest away. And this time had to be careful of the flight of the ball as it swirled in the air before getting comfortably into the hands of Ndisiro. That is the earlier moment, and brilliantly looking effort there by the goalkeeper Gamai Janda to make sure that he gets that ball furthest away. As a goalkeeper, importantly, get the ball furthest to the left or the right-hand side to give away the corner. If that fails, you get it furthest away from your defensive third. Playing with a bit of confidence is Brave Warriors. Palancas Negras are not having it their way as the player goes down holding his ankles. Well, you can hardly see the shin pads, so has the game changed. He used the junior player shin pads as Paulo Samutenya gets a yellow card for that foul. So he'll be playing with a bit of caution. Paulo Samutenya goes into the referee's book with 29 minutes on the clock. The trailing leg just clipping, and he's still trying to explain to the referee that it wasn't intentional. Free kick blown, free kick given to Angola. Francisco Pedro, will he try and get this ball behind the defense of Namibia? That was certainly the instruction from the coach. Header, and that's direct into the hands of the goalkeeper. Good connection made. Victor Vidinho has come up using his lanky frame. The bounce of the ball, nobody to put any pressure on the goalkeeper, was nicely protected by Kennedy Hambira and Ivan Kamberipa. But here's Angola again. They want to keep that pressure on. Brave Warriors trying to get out of their half, and Manuel Jordi decides it's not going to be that easy. He'll hold the player back as we confirm after 30 minutes that Angola and Namibia are locked at 0-0 apiece at the Toyota Stadium. A beautiful evening of football. And the COSAFA region proudly is hard at work to make sure they deliver a fantastic tournament. They are the defending champions as Angola. They have a bench also capable and able to cause a disruption. Pretty much slow starters in the previous campaign, but came back nice and strongly, as some coaches will want to navigate their first game, hoping that they can get the confidence of the 3 points and ultimately trying to set the tone and see how much points they can gather as the group stages unfold, with who will finish on top. Kennedy Haberipa plays it back to Ngero Katua. Ball just being hacked away by Angola. Forced to either go back to his goalkeeper, bounce of the ball, so nicely handled. Goalkeeper Ndisiro giving some lovely instructions to his defenders. The chase is on. A mistake made. Here's Betwell. Does well to stay on his feet, to need the numbers, trying to thread that ball between the legs of Victor Vindinho, and doesn't get that right. Ball rotated, and to no man's land. That attack of the Brave Warriors doesn't result to anything positive. Instead, players look rather dejected and frustrated, trying to conjure up some good passes with the hope that Betwell would benefit, the Black Leopards man. Captain's been very vocal in this match for Angola. Goalkeeper says, no, 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 no. I'm going to hack this ball forward. Try and get up front. Looking to get the ball to Ambrosini, Joao and Mendes. Instead, it's intercepted in the middle of the park there. Levi Alpheus doing fantastically well to win that ball for the Warriors, and we get to see another yellow card. And the use of the hand, that's in the face of Paulus Amutenya. Going into the referee's book is Jordi Manuel. So when we talk of yellow card, Jordi Manuel Gasper, we look at one yellow card apiece. And the reason is simple. Hand right at the throat, or the neck, wrapped around the neck of Amutenya. That ball being allowed to trickle over the goal line, and goalkeepers very quick to want to get the game started, maybe spotting some players in some good positions up front. Taking the eye off the ball is Alexandra Abdel. And ultimately, the Brave Warriors come with it going forward. Played back. Around the halfway line is Harasep. Trying to share the ball in that defense. Harasep looking for Hambira. Now the long ball to no man's land, as that ball just goes out for a throw-in. Kennedy Hambira, the African Stars man, who's been asked to come in and bring his experience. 41 caps. I think he is the highest cap player on the field for the Brave Warriors. That's Kennedy Hambira. Now, Namibia football really taking shape with the influence of quite respectable people like Ricardo Monetti, who used to play his football for Santos. He's now really the director at FC Angos. FC Angos, which is a team that's taking care of sports generally in Namibia. Also have a women's team associated that is doing exceptionally well and dominating the women's front. FC Angos also in the Premier League of Namibia in pole position. When you're looking at the makeup of the Namibian side, you do only get to see one player from FC Angos. Majority of the squad playing in this particular tournament is dominated by players from African Stars and Ishoko Tulatula. As the players go down, the referee encouraging the two players to apply fair play, coming from behind. And Ivan Kamberipa would know better than that. Majority of the squad of Namibia playing their football domestically. They've got a few players that are playing in South Africa for Black Leopards. For Durban City, Golden Arrows has also got a player that is in the squad, Edward Maova. He plays for Golden Arrows. So the ball trickles over the line, and the battle continues for these two teams that contested the final 2024. In that particular affair, it was one-way traffic for Palacras Negras. Good control. Needed the return ball, but was taken out of the equation. And Randy Nteka is trading on thin ice. The referee has spoken to him much earlier, turning Levi around and holding him back and losing his footing in the process, not allowing him to try and face the goal. But in a promising position is the Brave Warriors. Can they make use of this opportunity? 15 fouls that have been committed, 6 for Namibia. It's a two-man war, as they have the numbers to deny the Brave Warriors an opportunity, as that ball goes sky high to row number 65 in the stands. Disappointing effort from Moses Shidolo. But Angolan football definitely on the up and up. Cautious approach in these opening 40 minutes. Can they throw? Are they looking forward to the break? Are they looking forward to the second half? And I'm sure the coach will be, together with his technical team, plotting one of the major upsets. In the pre-match interviews, the coach speaking with a lot of respect for one another, but each one understanding the mission, as the clash there to the head of João Cabral is enough to give the Angolans another free kick. With some defending to do, organizing is the responsibility of Kennedy Hambira, together with Ivan Kamberipa. It brought the tall players back, and the goalkeepers organizing and directing the traffic. Paulos and Betwell are the two sacrificing that wall to make sure that they disrupt and force out Francisco Pedro to get that ball behind the wall, and effectively won and defended by the Brave Warriors. Can they use this momentum to launch a quick attack? Here's an opportunity for Betwell. Leaves the ball behind, but it is picked up by Katua. Katua needs to deliver a ball. He has 3 players around him. Katua forced out and ultimately winning a throw-in for the Brave Warriors. It had to take some decisive decision from Alexandra Abdel to force the Brave Warriors rather to a corner, get the ball out wide, which makes it rather difficult to narrow the angles as well, and ensure that they get the time to organize their defense. Ball in the corner, and it's another opportunity. A throw in for the Brave Warriors with 40 minutes on the clock, 5 minutes to go. Important 5 minutes to navigate as an attacking team. It is an opportunity to exert oneself and keep that momentum going. Ball just nicked in a quick moment by Jocelyn Kamatuka. 2 players in a rush and being bundled out of position. Paulo Samutenya. Battles will continue. We'll get to see a number of those. Kennedy Ebe, player in that moment, who was being bundled off the ball by João Cabral. Goalkeeper giving some instructions. He has a clear view of what is about to happen. There's 2 players hovering over the ball. Levi, Betwell, need to maybe take advantage of Hambira, who has made himself available. Ivan Kamberipa as well. But out on your left-hand side is Katua. Unmarked ball finds Katua. Needs to ride past a determined Ambrosi to deliver the cross. That is poor delivery, and I'm sure he will be disappointed with himself. That is Katua, the African Stars man. But that's what the pressure does, forcing the errors and not getting the delivery where he wants it. Angola playing a draw against Libya, and losing 2-1 to Cape Verde is enough to cause a bit of concerns, and the coach wanting to tweak that. They find themselves fourth in that group. 6 points difference for Angola. Good battle there in the middle of the park by Nteka. He's got Pedro alongside him, and forced into the wrong direction, and asking for support as Felicio Mendes-Molson, who found the goings tough on the right-hand side, has switched flanks to the left-hand side. It's a quick throw-in taken. The Warriors are forcing play and finding themselves having to close down an Angolan side pretty much on the top, as they say. High press, the ball bounces comfortably. Good shot. One-handed save by the keeper. And the ball is hacked away by the brave Warriors. It's an attack of their own as Jocelyn Kamatuka gives chase. That was a brilliant effort on the volley as that ball goes out of play, and some pushing that is not liked by the referee. Pushing on Katua. Players stayed down. Joao Caporal. Have a look at this ball. It was a decent ball that went over the top and a good connection. Keeper was alert. That is why he's such a danger man, is Felicio Mendes. Connected it on the volley. Didn't allow that ball to bounce, but equal to the task with a strong one hand. And fortunately enough, the defense was there to tidy up. We have a few seconds to go to the first 45 minutes as VAR has been called to have a look at that moment. There are questions about a penalty review.
Okay, now I'm coming.
And VAR will have a look at that. Akona Makalima and team being asked to check and recheck and be certain about the decision that has been made. But the referee's initial reaction was that there was nothing wrong with it, showing a good smile and sharing a moment or two with some of the players, and the decision was correct. 2 minutes is what has been added on. The review for the penalty check is done, and the game can continue. Dominique plucks that in the air. Well, the 2025 COSAFA Cup. Have a look at how quick was Harasep to respond in that particular moment. It was Joao Caporal that went into the defender, and that was the reason why VAR was called to have a look at that. Was it fairly done? And the benefit of the doubt given to the defending side in that particular moment. Brave Warriors will try and chew precious seconds here as they are thinking about the break and hoping that Coach Colin Benjamin will be able to share his wisdom with the players, looking at the plan, hoping that they can come back with quite a number of attacks of their own. In terms of possession, they have dominated the Brave Warriors. Another player that feels hard done by is Paulo Samatenya, who was flat on the ground and doesn't like the challenge in that particular moment. We have played about a minute and 55 seconds, so the referee will be looking very closely at his watch, taking his eye off the ball in that particular moment as Kamatuka Another high ball. Caporal wins that header, and in the process, he goes down yet again, holding his chest, grimacing in pain. And it is the strong man, Kennedy Eep, making sure that he doesn't give him an inch. So he's really been tasked to close out the danger man, Joao. Goalkeeper being asked to ensure that he protects his goal mouth here in the closing seconds of the first 45 minutes, in a game where one can really look at the very few opportunities that have been created. Ball delivered, header hacked away by Kennedy Eeb, and the flag also going up in the process. Referee blows his whistle once, twice, 3 times, and brings an end to the first 45 minutes, in which both sides were pretty cagey, were looking to make the breakthrough, and unfortunately for them, there hasn't been that much of clear-cut chances. They have struggled to break the defense, as both defense have been pretty disciplined, and getting into a huddle is the Angolan side, just sharing a couple of words before they go into the break, and allow the coach to take charge and make sure that he too will get a word or two, in hope that they can change the tactics coming into the next 45 minutes. The Angolan side, who have really looked a lot enterprising with their width.
Prepara-te para descobrir os conteúdos incríveis. Apresentamos a vocês os conteúdos exclusivos dos podcasts da Atrás Não Volto, feitos para quem busca qualidade e inovação em todas as áreas. Está à procura de entretenimento para todos? Este é o lugar certo. Com muita diversão e entretenimento, trazemos divertimentos para todos. Porque aqui a diversão é para todos. Quer debater sobre questões sociais? O Caixa Aberta traz para si reflexões importantes sobre os mais variados temas da nossa sociedade.
Hoje, vamos poder discutir como podemos impactar positivamente nossas comunidades.
Se o seu interesse é sobre temas espirituais, o Conectados é o podcast ideal para debater sobre fé, espiritualidade e seu impacto na nossa sociedade. É apaixonado pela música gospel? Além da música, vai te levar em uma jornada espiritual sobre os músicos e temas religiosos ligados à música.
Vamos explorar como a música gospel toca almas e fortalece a fé.
É fã de famosos e fofocas? O Babado traz para si as novidades mais quentes do mundo dos famosos. Fique por dentro
De tudo que acontece
no mundo das estrelas. Se você está em busca de notícias quentes, a notícia traz para si as últimas novidades quentes do mundo e em particular da nossa região Cubango.
Fique por dentro das notícias do mundo e, claro, tudo que acontece no Cubango, diretamente no A Notícia.
Assista agora os podcasts do Atrás Não Volto e embarque em uma experiência de muito conhecimento e aprendizagem. Atrás Não Volto,
o seu canal para o futuro!
nossos aplausos das Pinguita. Sim, isto aqui é uma batalha da região. Quem é você?
Achas que aguenta?
Mal. Ele é... Pronto, mas não entendam mal. Número insígnia. Boa. E assim sendo, o Dados Comilo começa. Ei, eu, Kete, primeiro round, 2.
Meto cala para a carne chegar para todos. Me criticas por falar de feitiço, mas na escola nunca assimilaste. Se estás na classe em que chegaste é porque tiveste apoio da sorte. Até para provar primeiro pagas gasosa. Um dia só vai me assustar, tua pauta saiu na rolote.
Achas que aguentas? Achas que aguentas?
Ouve a pingue, a menda tipo para que te tá imanarita coisa das pingue viada Samuel. Cadê o ponda?
Vamos, irmão. Eu vi o teu post. Eu visitei o teu post no Facebook. Eu visitei a tua página no Facebook. Vi um post a criticar a governação. E é você? Sim, você. Quem é você para falar mal do MPLA? Quem é você para falar mal do MPLA? Mas quem é você para falar mal do MPLA? Eles que construíram água e ponte para você hoje em dia conseguem atravessar o rio sem nadar. Quem é você para falar mal do MPLA? Eles que te deram fertilizante para plantar só porque no Calumbelele estavas a se cansar. Quem é você para falar mal do MPLA? Meu puto, fica esperto. O MPLA que mudou em Menongo o nome de terra do fim do mundo para terra do progresso.
Achas que aguentas?
Acho que o Gota quer me dar dinheiro, né?
Quero.
Quem mais? Quem mais?
Não. Epa, pronto, vamos.
Eu bajulo bem. Quem onde mais? Quem onde mais? Quem onde mais? Quem onde ele faz? Vamos, irmão. Não estás bonito, seu caralho, não se confunde. A tua cabeça não é que sangue, então para de aplicar a bundi. Tá.
Pessoal, vamos dar dinheiro, já? Vamos mesmo dar. Tá cuiado, também vamos dar dinheiro, já? Pessoal, vamos embora. Edu, da Spring, tens 2 minutos. O prato é todo teu, nigga!
Gudião, Pana. Eu te respondo rápido, meu irmão. Não tem um coche de dor. Na minha pauta apareceu uma rolote. Tá bom, eu sou um bom empreendedor. Me deu a entender que você é um rap sem bagagem. Dizeste que quando o Cubango não tem praia. Ô filha da puta, você não conhece o dono da paragem? Vambora! Eu tenho tantos furos no rosto e na orelha. Isso é para você perceber quando o assunto é rompimento, eu não brinco. Hoje, as tuas calças vão te cair de propósito, porque de ti é raiva que eu sinto. Lanço tantas granadas tipo no Iraque, George Bush. Vambora! Lanço tantas granadas tipo no Iraque, George Bush. Nós do Cubango já nascemos todos drogados, porque de natureza nosso município já cuxi. Essa é uma realidade que a mim já não me dói. Até já chegar a pensar nos ancestrais foram cientes, porque se me aleijares, serás obrigado a pagar boi. A língua ganguele que identifica o povo dessa região. Nandamá, Yetuvano, Isso não pega uma simples saudação, isso aqui é o sinal da nossa união. Mas esse não é o assunto, puto. Hoje eu trouxe plano mais prático, rimando mais ótimo, com duplo mais bala. Espera, não entendeste, né? Deixa que eu te dê uma breve explicação. Eu disse mais prático, mais ótimo e mais bala, e todos plano contém plano de voz. Literalmente só quis fazer uma chamada de atenção. Tudo começou nas madrugadas. Quando eu vi que o preço do combustível subiu, tive em dúvida. Olhei na minha pila as madrugadas também subiu. Depois de alguns dias disseram que o salário dos professores caiu. Tem professores que me devem para cobrar. Eu queria ter uma certeza ali na Xuxa da turma também caiu. Procura uma Bíblia e vai ler no livro de Gênesis 15, versículo 15. Ali já terá passagem que te levará direito para a puta que tu pariu. Seja bem-vindo à nossa pequena humilde cidade, Camilo. A nossa província acolhedora. Se fores bom, seremos bom. Mas se fores mau, sentirás a fúria da nossa maldade, Camilo. Ao redor temos dois rios, o Quebe e o Loa. O que é que divide a nossa cidade, Camilo? Falando do rio Quebe, eu tenho que levar essa visita aqui para não estragar a nossa tradição. Pois saiba que o rio Quebe já levou tantas visitas, passando no centro da cidade, mas ninguém lhe cobrou carta de condução. Esse é um rap sem noção. Essa vergonha da nação é ali onde você se engana. Na drena, levaste preservativo porque ouviste que o nome da festa é Kudana. Vambora!
Achas que aguentas?
Não! Esse é um rap patético. Fiz maturidade, mas no Facebook apareceste em boneco. Cala a boca, mas eu aqui dei a linha e a agulha que é para vosso feijão cozé. No dia 4 saíste na manifestação das panelas, criticando João Lourenço. És órfão de expressão, nem que tiveres encarnado no corpo do ex-presidente não terias nada a dizer. Xi! Depois deixarei o teu corpo partido a ponto de não ver coligação. Um do teu será quebrado e não terás deputado para discutir sobre a tua péssima organização. Cada movimento meu, você erra. Se eu mexer uma mão, é fruta. Mas se eu mexer um PRS como partido da oposição, esquece os filmes porno, porque eu aqui em 2 milhões foda. Até os vermes querem ver-me, porque eles sabem que eu sou. Minha nova namorada tem filho. Mas do jeito que aquela madafaca me mima, juro, vai me ser difícil de deixar. Porque sempre às manhãs, quando ela vem com o filho dela em casa, enquanto o filho dela lá fora mata a bicha, um gajo no quarto mata a bicha, porque essa é a forma dela me pagar.
Achas que aguentas?
Time. É eu, Dados Camilo. 3 minutos. O prato é todo teu, liga!
Esse gajo rematou. Porque Menonga e o Ambo tem praia. Vamos perguntar no dono do parque. Aquele não é praia, é lagoa. E agora, ele tá metendo essa calça dele de boneco. Você não me apanha pata. Calça bem gato, cheio de boneco. Isso não é roupa, é canal panda.
Achas que aguentas?
Ou tá fazendo de momento, ele escreveu, tá lhe rompendo no momento. Vamos rimar? Porque na vossa casa não veste nada. Só não andam nu porque tem medo de fazer plágio no Tarzan. Mesmo a tua mãe só usa saia com racha para combinar com o calcanhar.
Get a word or two in hope that they can change the tactics coming into the next 45 minutes. Well, after a stuttering first 45 minutes, we find ourselves back at the Toyota Park for the remainder of the 90. It is Angola and Namibia who are doing battle. If you are just joining us, you haven't missed too much of the action. It is 0-0 the scoreline. However, we have had to see the brilliance of Joao a couple of moments, and also having seen Felicio Mendes. On the other hand, it's been a business-like performance by Jocelyn Kamutuka of the Brave Warriors. Goalkeeper, who has been called a couple of occasions to make some brilliant saves. Ndisiro has kept a clean sheet, has given them the confidence, the Brave Warriors, to brave on and ensure that the Palacnas Negras are not having it their way. They are the defending champions and are finding it rather difficult. They have their work cut out. Coach Pedro Soares Gonçalves, who is the Portuguese coach, will certainly come up with different tactics here in the second half. Showed a lot of respect to his opposition, Colin Benjamin, acknowledging the fact that the Brave Warriors have been on the up. However, a young, inexperienced team that has been laid out by Coach Benjamin has done fantastically well in the opening first 45 minutes. They do call them the underdogs in this fixture. They were dethroned and demolished by 5-0 in a one-sided final in 2024 at the Nelson Mandela Bay. But so much for history, and that is being put behind them. It is the Brave Warriors that will get us underway here in the second half, with the hope that the dominating possession stats that indicated that they were in the driving seat and were the driving force, one would hope that can pay dividends. Seconds away before the start, an indication of a change. Manuela Jordi has given way, and Antonio da Silva. Chitanga Horsey is the player to come on. Another change. Lorindo Aurelio has come on for Joao Caporal, the man who was on the floor most of the time being fouled, and on a number of occasions. So 2 changes made by Angola. One hoping that they will pay dividends. Lorindo Maria Aurelio is a very notable midfielder. Lorindo, who plays his football for FK, for Jovinda. They call him Depu. Majority of the Portuguese players never play with their full names on the jersey, so he has an abbreviation called Depu. FK for Jovinda. And the referee just having his equipment and maybe a change of batteries to make sure that the thumbs are up all round. The Brave Warriors, on the other hand, sticking to an unchanged side here in the second half. Just knocking the ball around and trying to keep warm. We are waiting for referee Hilary Hambaba to get us underway at the Toyota Park. It is the Brave Warriors. So the clock starts ticking here, with the hope that we will get a winner after 90 minutes. It has been a slow start. The hosts opening up the tournament with a 1-0 loss against Mozambique in a frantically played game, as that ball is struck with venom. Levi just hacking it furthest away. But the intentions is pretty clear that in the second half, the Namibian side is going to be trying to shoot from distance and maybe catch goalkeeper Dominique. Tends to stray a bit off his line. This is a Group B clash contested by Lesotho and Malawi, the other 2 teams of which earlier on played to a 1-0 win in favor of Lesotho. Lovely piece of play by the Brave Warriors, getting that ball through the channel. Beautiful ball, but equal to the task, and that was another humdinger of an effort that just went astray. The closest that they have come. Katua on the left-hand side should have been a lot more composed in that particular moment. Let's have a look at that ball again. Did well to stay on side as Betwell, keeper, who was in 6s and 7s, that ball just skidding past the face of the goal as Jocelyn tried to get a touch. And unfortunately, in that particular moment, Katua was not able to convert that into the back of the net. So early warning shots being fired here at the Toyota Stadium by the Brave Warriors, braving out this winter's evening as the temperatures have dropped. Here's Namibia on the drive, roving forward, shot! Not enough to trouble goalkeeper Dominique. Levi. Again, it looks like Angola are in their shell. That ball just skidding off the right boot of Levi and taking it furthest away from the goal. He apologizes immediately to his teammates. Levi, this game does need a goal. So far, Jocelyn gives chase. They'll be looking for the support play. The last touch just skidding off Jonathan Buatsu. That would have been a fitting goal for Katua. Now the stage absolutely set for Thriller Minute. So tightly contested are these two sides, and here is the marauding run, and a disappointing ball, but was looking for a player who's just come on. That is Lorindo Orello. Needs to try and find a teammate. That is Betwell, forced backwards, trying to get in between the defenders. Betwell does well, but shows too much of the ball. Intercepted, but it is picked up yet again by Moses Shidolo. Enjoying quite a bit of the possession, rotating the ball very well, is Namibia. Coming in with confidence and really living up to the name of Brave Warriors, taking the game to Angola. Not in their shell at all. Instead, it is the Angolans that need to come out of their shell and show the continent what they are capable of. But we did highlight the form as they come in, maybe just low on confidence as that ball is hoofed into the air and picks up Jocelyn Kamatuka. The first touch just a little heavy as that ball rolls furthest away from him. Quickly taken by Jonathan, and the last touch will allow Angola another opportunity to launch an attack. One is looking for the explosiveness, pace. They need to try and get more into the box. They're normally a team that plays with a lot of aggression. As some would say, they've met their Moses in today's encounter. Heavy touch. But Betwell does well to win it back. The recovery has been pretty good of Namibia. Once they lose the ball, they try and get back into position. Keep his foot on the ball, and good delivery, unmarked, coming from the blind side. Ball rotated back, bicycle kick, and could there be some questions being asked about a handball? As the bicycle kick would have been such an audacious moment. That would have been a brilliant effort had it found the back of the net. The ball just ricocheted off the body of Victor Vidinho. So the Brave Warriors would look at that and call it a half a chance. Molson, strong challenge there. As Francisco Pedro stops Kamatuka in his tracks. This is the earlier moment as we have a look at that ball. The first touch was enough to cause contact. There's that ball. Nope, there's no hands involved. Good bicycle kick by Jocelyn. And when you look at it, Victor Vidinho knew nothing about it. That ball just ricocheting off his shins and away in that particular moment. The ball just being intercepted by the referee, who is also part of play, and it will be a drop ball. And, ball will be given to the Brave Warriors. Is Jocelyn trying to take off is Betwell. Now the new man, Antonio Horsi, is come on. So one change in the defense and one change in the attacking third for Angola, hoping to give them the desired result. Been asked to close down Felicio. It's closed down by Ivan Kamberipa. A frustrated looking Pedro is trying to push his players forward, wanting them to really benefit from the long throw. He's got a strapped left wrist. Does the ball get enough of protection? Waltzing on the edge of the box. It is the Brave Warriors who will look to come out of their defense, and according to the assistant referee, the last touch came off an Angolan player, and therefore a throw-in for the Brave Warriors. Throw-in. There was a lot of screaming way before that ball was taken. And it is Francisco Pedro who's grimacing in play. This is the reason why. I mean, even the player looks rather shell-shocked. That's Betwell. He doesn't know what he's done. He says, no, I don't know. It's not me. But he's the only player that was closest to Pedro. He's been helped up to his feet. It's amazing how much of momentum, if you get a slight clip on the ankles and you were really in foot flight, that can be rather painful. Angola looking to build with the presence of Alexandra Abdel. Player goes down rather easily. This time it's a throw-in for Angola. Ball just ricocheting off Levi. In the box, forced backwards, but does well to win it back is Aurelio. Hacked away, anywhere will do for the Brave Warriors. Certainly coming out with a lot more purpose, a lot more fight is Angola. That's Pedro. Pedro comes with Molson. Felicio, last touch coming off the lanky Kennedy Eep. A throw in for Angola. Played short. Pedro delivers it into the box, but to no man's land, and the Brave Warriors will say thank you very much and try and launch that ball forward, but it falls kindly to Angola yet again, who will just conjure up a couple of passes before looking for that long diagonal ball in a search of Felicio Mendes Molson. There are concerns as the whistle is blown, and looks like Francisco Pedro is struggling. He's running rather gingerly and gives an indication to the bench that he's all right, and the referee will want to continue with play, allowing the game to flow very nicely as referee Hillary. Another long ball intercepted by Angola, and possession turned over. 55 minutes on the clock, 0-0 the scoreline. It's a throw-in as Katua will play it back in search of Harasep. Goalkeeper giving clear instructions. Played short. Angola doing well to come out from that defense. Slight body check on the opposite end. Ndisiro also does pretty much the same. Playing with a lot of comfort and ease, but as Angola this time, pressing a bit higher than usual. The first half they allowed Angola the space and the time, but she has another opportunity with a reverse pass in search of Levi. Betwell does well. Here's Betwell on the ball, yet again playing the quick 1-2, puff and pass, another return ball. It is Jocelyn showing some impetus going forward, and a good block to deny the Brave Warriors. The referee again is picking up a little bit of an infringement as Moses Shidolo goes down. Moses Shidolo goes down. Bad time. And that is the moment. Trying to connect first time. You got to give credit to a defender who made sure that the roadblock was set, and it wasn't going to be an easy task. Player grimacing in the middle of the park. holding his shin, still receiving treatment. This is an opportunity for some of the players to hydrate. The question's been asked of the referee to please protect. So he believes that that was an unfair challenge. The medical team is asking him to run off rather gingerly. He's, if you're looking at the moment, VAR would check to give confidence to the decision that has been taken. The referee's been asked to approach and wanting to review the decision that has been taken. And could it be a red card decision? And that would be a problem. Oh, that was full force by Randy Nteka on the ankles of Moses Shidolo. That is horrible. Red card check. Not a penalty check, but a red card check. Very robust defending. The referee's got to have to make a decision in this moment. That could have been career ending. And disappointment and disapproval from the Brave Warriors bench, and asking for protection. He had lost the ball, shown too much of it. Here's Randy Nteka, the 27-year-old who plays this football in Spain for Rico Valencia. I think he's going to walk. I think he's going to walk. Player goes down immediately, grimacing in pain. These two teams are playing for the 5th time when you look at their footballing history. And in that, it's been an Angolan outfit that has dominated this fixture with 2 wins and 2 draws between them. You'll have to go back to the 28th of June. They played in the group stages to a 0-0. And then the final on the 7th of July, it was the 5-0 thrashing of Angola. And Namibia there in that particular moment taken to the cleaners. As this match quickly reaches the 1-hour mark, decision still is nowhere near being made. And finally the referee walks away. I wonder what color is it going to be? Is it red? Is it yellow? And he goes to the right-hand pocket, and a disappointment. Randy Nteka is the player that is being red-carded. Perhaps the first player of the tournament to be red-carded and gone to take an early shower. Deserving of that challenge. It was pretty much a robust affair, and he went in without consideration of the other player. Full stud on the ankle, and he's got to walk. Just waited to see the color. A card he was deserving, but these are some of the moments, the finer moments that are missed by you and I, and you get VAR coming to the rescue. It's never easy out there. And an advantage that is being played. Kiliano Manuel is the player that is now being brought on at the expense of Felicio Mendes. So Kiliano Manuel will come on. He plays his football for FC Estrela Amadora in Portugal. He's made 21 appearances, and in his 21 appearances, he's got 1 assist. Kiliano Manuel is just 22 years of age. So a free kick to Angola, to Namibia rather. So can they make the numbers count? As difficult as it always is to beat a 10-man team, they need to be a lot smarter. They need to perhaps be a little bit more patient. They can make use of the 12th man. On the other hand, you'll ask a little bit more of Angola to dig deep and play for the entire country and make sure that the departure of Randy Nteka is not felt. Well, it's a player who was occupying the midfield on the left-hand side, and the introduction of Kiliano will just come in and shore up the midfield and maybe just play with one player up front. Kiliano Manuel, Felicio Mendes Joao has left the pitch. So when you have two of your top shooters being substituted, it means the defense of the opposition is doing exceptionally well, frustrating the opposition. Francisco Pedro, nicely sliced in the air, ricocheted, and getting a good connection is Jonathan Boatsu. That ball connected it very well, but it just the technique there, his body leaning over that ball. Kennedy out to the left-hand side of Namibia. Good first touch, eliminates one. Playing the 1-2. Available in the middle of the park is Paulos, is Moses, is Katua. Good feet by Levi. Levi needs a decent cross, connected by Jocelyn, and hacked away by Jonathan Butau. Levi trying to get the ball behind the defense. With acres of space to share the ball around, takes a shot, a first-time shot which is closed down. He has an opportunity for the pace of Angola. Keeper comes out way off his line and had to be quick. Aurelio was very close to connect onto that. Angola trying to get the ball out, looking for Ambrosini. Ambrosini plays the 1-2 with Antonio. Antonio continued his run, and the last touch of a Namibian player, and that will be a corner for Angola. 65 minutes, we are yet to get a goal out of this contest. Corner. Tall players making sure that they protect the first pole. Ivan Kamberipa, Kennedy, Hambira. Harasep has got to pick up defensively. Pedro gets the ball in. Keeper comes out. Good connection, and player goes down. When you talk of a player taking one for the team, it was Harasep in that particular moment. Namibia trying to use the advantage of exploiting the spaces that have been left behind by Antonio and Pedro Francesco in that moment, but very quick to recover and get back into position. Ivan Kamberipa, ball picked up as Antonio tidies up for Angola. Good work by Levi. Kamberipa, who finds himself in an advanced position. Ball delivered, intercepted by Angola as far as Levi. Levi switches to the left-hand side looking for Jocelyn. Trying to make it rather difficult for himself, Jocelyn. Maybe a simpler ball. The decision-making in that final third needs to improve rather drastically if they are to take advantage of the extra man that they have in the park. The bench looking on. Mr. Benjamin looking for his ace. Yet to make a change. Katua needs a good delivery. In actual fact, Betwell, he says thumbs up. Betwell delivers in the first corner and off the line. That ball was pretty close, kept in play. This as far as the edge of the box. But Angola do well to tidy up and get it away. It is a throw-in. Has that ball ricocheted off Katua. Have a look at the lovely ball, and it is in that moment, a big moment as Victor gets it away. Keeper was in 6s and 7s, and Namibia tried to take advantage, but a brilliant effort by Victor Vindinho in that moment as keeper was down sprawling, and giving chase was Ivan Kamberipa. It's a throw-in for Angola. Francisco Pedro, he'll take his time, is Francisco. A draw in the opening match for the defending champions is not what they want, bearing in mind that 3 points belong to Lesotho. South Africa, who also had an opportunity in Group A, they were beaten by a 1-0 by Mozambique. So Mauritius and Zimbabwe playing to a goalless draw. Zimbabwe being one of the most successful nations at the COSAFA Cup. When we talk of that, you go back to 2003, 2009, 2017, 2018, 2005, as well as 2000. They won the final of the COSAFA Cup. Namibia has to go back as early as 2015 as well, when they were crowned champions. While Angola, of late, have been a menace. 2020, they are the defending champions. 2024, 2004, 2001. So they know what it's like to hoist the COSAFA Cup. We've had 5 nations get an opportunity. South Africa also some time back, 2008 and 2007. 2021 was more recent. Again hosting the tournament, crowned champions. So it was Zimbabwe in the early stages of the cup. And we can go as far back as 1997. In 1997, when you look at Angola's history, they did not enter. And 1990, 2000, they were winners. And more recently, in 2024, they were winners. Knocked out in the first round in 2022 and 2023. So Angola have come back with the vengeance. And, if you can just look at the archives and look at the number of goals that they've scored at this COSAFA tournament, it's a total of 65 goals that they have scored. Really play for points and play and score big against Lesotho, having scored 15 goals and conceding 9 in that process. Namibia, on the other hand, and you're looking at their history, so the players are asking the referee to make a decision, but it's a pretty clear one. Handball or a push from the back. That's a little bit untidy by the Brave Warriors. Runners-up 2024, knocked out in the first round in 2023, runners-up in 2022. So they do know what it's like to be in the final. That is the Brave Warriors. Decent ball, dissecting that defense, does well to keep it in play. There's a decent ball in support of a good cross, but he has to deal with Francisco Pedro. Betwell, easily dispossessed by Ambrosini. Moses Shidolo's got to be a lot more lethal, a lot more aggressive. Giving chase is Aurelio. It's a throw-in for the Brave Warriors. Defense of Namibia playing with a lot of space and a lot of confidence. Sharing that ball's Kamberipa, Kennedy, forced backwards. Back to Kennedy. Two players to deal with. Decent ball coming from the blind side. Jocelyn was lurking and not spotted. Good turn there by Moses Shidolo. Taking the strike and ricocheting off an Angola player. Ball falls kindly to Levi. Another attack by the Brave Warriors. Katsua needs a support. Gone all ultra defensive is Angola, but a good switch of play to find Ivan Kamberipa. Kamberipa looks for Kennedy. Kennedy and Kamberipa on the right-hand side, sharing that ball. Nice touch on the edge of the box is Moses, but he's stopped in his track. It is Angola who will come away with it. They need to use that pace, and available is Ambrosini, but a timely interception by Kennedy in that moment when Angola thought they could use the explosiveness. Dispossessed. Betwell losing possession rather easily. Yes, Angola did well to stay on his feet. Is Antonio, decent cross. Defensively, they have been solid. Is the Brave Warriors. They have been solid. Switching play from left to right. Very calm is Alexandra Abdel. Pedro showing his versatility and strength in that particular moment. Still keeping possession. Dilly-dallying with the ball though, and forced out of the kitchen, as many would say. And that's a disappointing decision, a disappointing moment. And there is a player that is coming on and a change being made. I'll just confirm who the player is that is been asked. Wise Lifasi is the player that is coming on. Or Vise Lifasi. Vise Lifasi comes on. And Isaka Gurirab is the player also to come on. Isa Gurirab will come on for Jocelyn. And Visa Lifasi. Visa Lifasi is jersey number 18. He plays for Julinho Athletic. And the goalkeeper just receiving a bit of an ice pack on that hamstring. Saka Gurirab, jersey number 7 for Namibia. He plays his football for Simbabora FC. Those are the two players that have come on. And the coach has brought in a fresh pair of legs to try and win this. Good to see players like former players like Mark Fish in the stands. He's out there, normally involved with the development of the under-15s and coaching, trying to get the next Mark Fish and the next Lucas Radebe. I'm sure Lucas will be besides himself, appreciating the fact that Leeds United have been promoted to the Premier League. Here's the Brave Warriors. That ball hacked away as Ambrosini trying to get the ball to ricochet off the opposition player. And instead, packed not so much of venom. Bit of a hospital pass in that moment. Showing good strength and showing a bit of skill, but it all results to nothing. Lorindo Maria Aurelio runs into trouble. Levi, who's been exceptional covering in defense, very much effective in the middle of the park. He does well to steal that ball and slightly concerned with the way that he went down. Hard at work, hard running. Gurirab. Here's a chance for the Brave Warriors. They can take a strike. Oh, that was a warning shot. That was a warning shot. He gets a praise from the bench. Look at that connection. Took his time. And Willie Stefanis can be given a pat on the back for trying. We haven't seen that many shots taken with 79 or 80 minutes on the clock. The third change being made. Levi is also given way. And in comes Mweneni Mugundi.
Okay, it's fine. We did a mistake here.
So in comes Vili, Stefanis, Wiese, and Gurirab are the three changes that have been made by Namibia. Wiese appears to be that player that is really full of running. It's closed down very quickly. That ball dissected. Could this be the opening goal? Keeper had to be certain. Got attached to it. And he's livid. He's upset. He says he cannot go out. It looks like his thumb may have been dislocated in that particular moment. And he doesn't even hesitate. He gives the indication to the bench. He's walking off. And he's absolutely livid, frustrated with himself. And will be interesting to see if our camera can pick up what has really happened. You have a look at this moment. The ball was hacked away, and a mistake made in that moment as Visa Lifasi wins it back and goes out to the left-hand side, and immediately the signal goes up. It was Betswell who didn't pull out of that challenge, and maybe as the goalkeeper put his hand down there in that moment, a thumb goes out of position. Oh, that's painful. I can relate. Getting the medical treatment, and the referee is asking for the player to leave the park. And you know, when you get a player shaking his head and giving the indication that he cannot continue, it needs to be really considered that he's an honest player. He doesn't want any concerns, and you'd rather have a player that is 100% fit to come on and make sure that he too is given an opportunity to give his chance, to give his team a chance. One would look at the Angolan side trying to double up every now and then when they're out of possession and winning that ball. But they are forced backwards on a number of occasions. The goalkeeper has really been also to clear the danger. Did well, the couple of passes that he's made, and now the coach giving a couple of instructions to the players, just trying to get that thumb back into position. And that is that moment. Keeper was brave enough, went with the one hand, and as he got up he felt the pain and immediately focused on the finger instead of the ball, and he's upset with himself. There is the thumb. It's broken. All right. Oh. Broken right in the top of that. Oh, the pain of that is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. So they have been contained, and Alexandra Abdel is a player that is to be substituted by Alberto Campos Miguel, and the other change is Dominique, and in comes Signor. We'll get his name just now. It is Signor Agostinho Matias. Agostinho Matias. Agunaldo. Not Ronaldo, it's Agunaldo. He's come on for Dominique. So an unfortunate incident, and will definitely have to be taken to the hospital as Namibia tried to conjure up a move using the pace of Ivan Kamberipo, who we've seen advance quite often into the attacking role and going down the line, making use of the long ball and forcing himself inside, to also showing some sort of threat. But Angola trying to just manage the spaces in the middle of the park, being a lot more composed on the ball. But yes, the Brave Warriors yet again. Ball gone out to the left-hand side. Betwell. It was made to look very easy there by Ambrosini. 9 against number 9. Ambrosini and Betwell. It's been an interesting day at the office. It's been a pretty tight game as Namibia, we would say, are holding Angola. Pedro, another long ball. Just to remind you, there has been a red card in this match. Randy Nteka is the player that had to give way for a horrible tackle. And Angola are down to 10 men. Sacrifice in that particular moment is also João Caporal. Just closed down, wasn't able to make that much of an impact. Felicio Mendes was also substituted, but here's an opportunity for Ambrosini. Ambrosini! Closed down! Brilliant moment! That's how big that effort is for Katua. Kept his team in play, but the danger of Ambrosini, that long ball, but a header by Aurelio to pick up Ambrosini, and the keeper came out narrow. The angle was also supported by Katua, but a mistake made by Kennedy in that moment, almost providing Angola with an opportunity. Well, trying to play it to the letter, which is soak up the pressure, use the moment to try and catch the opposition on the break. With defending to do, the Brave Warriors are being asked questions here in the closing stages of the 90 minutes. It's a corner, good delivery, header off the line. Breathing rather heavily is Mozambique. Sorry, there's a push there, not Mozambique, but Angola. There's a clear push, and the referee points to the penalty spot. Madness in these closing stages of the match. First touch from Pedro was good enough. The challenge from Lifasi was one he wants to quickly forget. That's the moment. Ball was cleared off the line, brought back in, and Angola have an opportunity to take the lead. Those two players making sure that they weren't to give an inch. Betwell as well as Kennedy, but then a penalty. Can he carry this team on his shoulders? It is Aurelio, the man who plays his football for FK Bojovinda. But there's also VAR that is having a look at whether or not it is a penalty, but the referee's instinct and initial decision is that it's a penalty and he doesn't want any encroaching. Can Aurelio give Angola the lead against the run of play? It was dominance by the Brave Warriors. And we talk of the crucial closing minutes where you've got to man-manage, you've got to make sure that you focus on the game. The decision is still pending. What did I say? The jury is out. 0-0 the scoreline. Can Aurelio, who has the entire nation on his shoulders, get the ball in the back of the net? Can he be the hero? And has 2 minutes plus referee's optional time to defend with everything they have. They were down to 10 men for most parts of the second half. The decision is not clear, but here they go. The check is complete. Indication given. Aurelio up against Ndisiro. Aurelio of Angola. That is the penalty that one can comfortably say gives them the 3 points in this group. After struggling for most parts, it is a moment that they will want to cherish for a very long time. And when you look at the Namibian side, they will be very, very disappointed. That is the moment. It had to take. There was nothing wise about Lifasi's decision in that moment to tackle the player from the side inside the box. Keeper went the one side, Aurelio went the other. 1-0 in favor of Angola. They continue their dominance, making it 3 wins in 5 for 2 draws. Tyrese Hikupembe has come onto the field. That is the 4th change. And the referee is trying to spot the player and find out who gave him the permission to come on. Could he also see a yellow card? He's come on for Betswell. Talking to the 4th official. It is Celso Alvacao. So there is about 8 minutes to be added to the 90. The injury to the goalkeeper, plus all the substitutions, that's enough time for the Brave Warriors to see if they can force a draw. Right now, it is Angola who will defend with 10 men. Ambrosini. Now the long ball to no man's land. They'll get the 10 players behind the ball. It will be the urgency of the Brave Warriors in getting that ball into the final third. They need to do that with a lot of pace. They got to adapt and react a lot quicker. They need to make use of the numerical advantage as the player goes down. Gurirab, a free kick. So pushed up is Kennedy. So is Kamberipa. Goalkeeper who's come on for Dominique. Ball bounced and that just skidding off the ground. Had to watch that right up to the end. Goalkeepers who have all the time. He's watching from a a better angle than anybody else. Trying to look at the danger. We've played about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of the 8 minutes. Coach will be asking for patience and composure from the Brave Warriors. Aurelio. Ivan Kamberipa uses his goalkeeper. On the left-hand side is Haraseb. Kennedy. Can he get this ball forward a lot quicker? Kamberipa. The Brave Warriors keeping possession. Wise. Here's Wise. He needs to make use of Kamberipa, who's has pushed off the ball but gets the throw in. Brave Warriors rather anxious to get into that kitchen. Here's Kamberipa. That ball goes out of play. No one is interested in that. Disappointment from the bench. Willie Stefanis will need to do better. Mr. Benjamin is trying to urge his players to get back into this match. They've got the numerical advantage. They're being forced to try and close up from the front. Ball as it leaves the defense of the Angolans. It's brought right back by the Brave Warriors. Helped on forward. There's no attackers, and Ambrosini reacts to that. In the middle of the park, trying to get that ball in between the two centre-backs, unable to do so. In moments of anxiety and pressure, the pitch rather becomes narrow, looking for those spaces and you can't find them. The goalposts become a lot smaller. Now that's always concerns for the losing side. Trying to look for the quick 1-2. Bit of a hospital pass, but the Brave Warriors come away with it. And Uvili Stefanis is on the ball. Shares that ball out. Needs a good cross, but it is intercepted by Victor Vindinho. Trying to push them up with a bit of a mid-block as the Brave Warriors forcing the players up front. Here's Wise. Trying to eliminate the defender. He has Pedro to deal with. And ultimately getting the foul in his favour. So the Angolans who playing a little bit deeper than one would like, inviting trouble. Five minutes having been played. They are being asked the questions yet again, letting Angola off the hook. Here's the pace of Kamberipa. Did well to stay on his feet. Wise needs a good cross. Wise, keeper gets a touch, helped on. That needed the bodies. Good, strong, quality ball. Willie Stefanis, ball in the air, header, equalizer. Brilliant. Pulling the equalizer. And it is the Brave Warriors that are pretty happy. Ivan Kamberipa was unmarked. He was the danger player that continued to push forward and was very, very confident. Took his time, patience, placed the ball. Keeper was rooted. So Angola and Namibia find themselves locked at 1-1 apiece. It was a decent ball played by Willie Stefanis. Quality ball and header finding an open Ivan Kamberipa, who was unmarked and did enough to steer that ball over the line to bring back the Brave Warriors into this match. Keeper was unable to stop that, and that called for the celebrations on the bench. So Ivan Kamberipa saving the blushes of a Namibian side that had enjoyed most parts of the possession stakes. looking for a quick ball to set apart Tyrese. Angola sending Ambrosini on his bicycle. So we have played the 90 minutes and we have played the referee's optional time. Some tired legs out there, and the referee could blow his whistle any time now. And how the group will stand, it will give Lesotho the 3 points. It will give Brave Warriors and Angola a point apiece. And sitting at the bottom of the log will be Malawi. So that is the moment that was pretty telling. Perhaps the last action of the match as Angola go down in a heap. They know that they were pretty close to getting 3 points, having been reduced to 10 men. And a good fight that was put in. Victor Pedro Nanik has been given the Hollywood player of the match. But again, you got to look at the Brave Warriors and say they soldiered on. Well, that's how it ends at the Toyota Park Stadium. It is Angola 1, Namibia 1.
Ja, je goed een sterk niet, bro. Je goed is bij sterk. You love money. Sorry.